Well, welcome back, folks, to another video. So for the video today, we're over the top 10 on most hilariously inaccurate predictions. Okay, so let's get started. So number 10, it is the coming of the wireless era will make war impossible because it will make war ridiculous, which was said by Guglielmo Marconi. That's my stomach, but that was in the Technical War magazine in 1912. Well, obviously that did not pan out. Okay, so at number 9, it is Democracy Will Be Dead by 1950. And this was written by John Langdon Davies in a short history of the future in 1936. Okay, so at number 8, it is a man of the next century will revolt against shaving and wearing a beautiful beard. Dot dot dot. So his hat will be an antenna snatching radio out of the ether. His socks disposable. His suit minus tie collar buttons. His belt will hold all his pockets ever did. So this was written in a 1939 issue of Vogue, and it was describing what men in 2005 would look like. Well, obviously that was not what men would look like. But okay, so number 7, it is so almost all of the many predictions now being made about the 1996 hinge on the internet's continuing exponential growth. But I predict the internet will soon go supernova, and in 1996 will catastrophically collapse, which was said by Robert Metcalfe, who was the co-inventor of the Ethernet in 1995. Okay, so number 6 is within 10 years, porterhouse steaks will cost us $1 a pound, which is $25 today. So, okay, so and then peering still more deeply into the dismal future, he sees the Americans of the 21st century living as a low caste Chinaman does now, on rice and vegetables, and like him, slothful creatures, anemic and without initiative. The only way, the only way off this terrifying fate, Mr. Bischoff of the American Meat Packers Association says, is to educate the American farmer on the necessity of raising more cattle. So this was written in the New York Times on September 23rd, 1913. Okay, so number 5, it is by the mid-1980s, automated autos, noiseless mnemonic subways, and luxury liner hovercraft will have radically restructured our surface mobility, which was written by David Rorvik in the October 1920 issue of Playboy magazine, the 1970 issue. Sorry. Okay, so and at number 4 it is well, this is not really a quote, but it's putting animals to work to save them from extinction, which various writers have put forth in the 1960s. Well, yeah, this didn't. Yeah, that didn't pan out. Okay. So number 3 is strawberries as large as apples will be eaten by our great-great-grandchildren, which was written by John Elfrith Watkins Jr. in December 1900. Okay, so number 2, it is We Don't Like Their Sound in Guitar Music is on its way out, which was said by a Decca record company, which is on rejecting the Beatles in 1962. Well, obviously they probably regretted that decision. Okay, so number 1, it is all about Apple. So there's multiple different quotes really about Apple, but they're all equally hilarious. Okay, so yes. So Apple seems to have 2 options. The first is to break itself up, selling the hardware side. The second is to sell the company outright, which was published in The Economist in 1995. Okay, and Apple, as we know it, is cooked. It is so classic. It's so sad. Which was said by a research analyst quoted in the New York Times in 1996. So, and Apple went from hit to Apple went from hit to has-been in just 19 years, which was published by Business Week in 1996. And then by the time you read this story, the quirky coal company will end its right as an independent enterprise, which was written in Fortune in 1996. And okay, Apple is already dead. That's very which was said by Nathan Myhrvold. I don't think I did, but who was the Microsoft CTO in 1997. And admit it, you're out of the hardware game, which was written in Wired in 1997. And okay, the last thing is, what would I do? I'd shut it down and give the money back to the shareholders, which was said by Michael Bell, who was a Dell CEO in 1997. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I'll put the source in the description because there's much more hilarious predictions that you should read because they're very hilarious. Yeah, okay, so